Hey folks, I'm Serious GG. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2. I actually did pop up to the airship as discussed to see a little information on who we still need to oversoul and who we don't and blah blah, but actually we're not quite done. It's tempting for me to just take a take a little time to off screen and just go into the Via Infinito in earlier levels. There are like just random enemies that we never managed to encounter. I actually was recording a video where I was going through the list and talking about it, and I got interrupted. It is Mother's Day as I record this, and I had called my ma and didn't get her, and left her a message, so she called me back. And so yeah, my Mother's Day and talking to my mother interrupted Via Infinito briefly. But now we're ready to go back, and I want to at least get one more video. It feels like the smart thing to do would just be to dive as deep into this thing as we can get. And then when we're getting really near the bottom, then we can backtrack to whatever level we want. Or at least if we get all the way down to level 80, because you can hop back and forth freely between great cloisters, and that means that we can really whittle down on any enemies we missed, other than perhaps some really high-end ones, and deal with them as we go. So since we don't have Auto Ribbon yet, there's two approaches to this battle. I could keep going until we get Auto Ribbon, or we could just use ribbons in place of these AP accessories, and hope that this enemy we're about to face may actually be less difficult to deal with than the smooth sailing would work pretty good for you. This enemy might actually be easier to deal with than what do you call it? A Megatonberry. So that's, if we take the speed bracer off, I'm just curious if it shows now it says Super Ribbon. It doesn't tell us what that means. So I think I think if we go ahead and put the speed bracer thing back. Oh, we got 3 Rabbi's feet. Well, now I gotta put the speed bracer back on to hope that counters the auto slow. Where the hell did it end up? They may cancel out, and it's possible that the slow will override the auto haste. But I guess we'll find out. So, what garment grid are we on? We're on the one that gives us, let's go ahead and actually get a boss fighting setup going here. Although I'm not using the things that double our HP, so... You know what? Let's double our HPs instead of having auto haste. Kaiser Knuckles, raise strength by 50. I'll know when I see it because I ended up with a ton of them, but Star Pendant's not it, although I got a ton of those too. A couple of accessories that we have just like crazy numbers of Oath Veil. But Crystal Bangle is the most ridiculous. Pain might just be slowed, or I could just give up on having... Well, I'm pretty sure that this boss that we're about to fight is It uses some status ailments on it, but I don't think it uses like Petrify or Berserk or anything, so maybe... Maybe I could do the thing that raises luck and just figure... Well, I don't know. I don't know, what could we do here instead? Maximum damage over 999 might not be bad, actually. Although, we're going to be using a... Oh, what the hell, Pain just might be slowed. Ribbon Crystal Bangle, Ripple Crystal Bangle, Ribbon and Adamantite. And then if we go to Garment Grids, we go to Higher Power, you would want to put Mascot on there. You always want to have Thief. You always want to have Gun Mage. What else would be useful? There are ones that involve the Lady Luck dress sphere and just making sure that you always have really high luck on everybody. But I think I'll go with Alchemist just in case. And Dark Knight. But the idea is start at Mascot, switch through everything to get break damage limit. If that's even worth doing. But a break HP limit. And then take them off of Valiant Luster. Although it has its benefits too. And go with Higher Power. Be a higher love. Because now everybody can have over 9,000 hit points. And this is just a good thing to have against bosses. And you can even, if we wanted to, we could use items to double our hit points again. I don't think we need to do that. So we will save. And we should now be prepared to throw down with the best of them. Everybody but Pain is going to be immune to all status ailments. Pain... Well, no, Pain is too. She's just be slowed. So, we'll have to decide if that was a good idea or not. And let's go talk to our friend Maester Micah. Hey, Maester Micah, look, I'm really sorry I tore down your whole religion. That's okay, Charles. I'm going to turn into a giant slug monster. Okay, cool. So... we will zoom through all of these as fast as we can. And it seems like it's not too bad to zoom through all these. We could probably even have Yuna switch over to a Thief to try to steal a bunch of shit. She got slurped, but she's guarded because of her... That would have inflicted poison and I think slow. Somebody should also... Oh. I guess somebody should have... I didn't really think about where I put... the blue magic one. That's a lot of damage. Speed Eraser doesn't work. I'm thinking probably we're not going to have a whole lot of luck with It's immune to just about everything, which I kind of figured. It's got Shell and Protect, but that's probably auto. I doubt we can get rid of them. It's immune to gravity. Oversoling has caused its shell to harden considerably. At times like this, all you can really do is smile and keep shelling out the damage. Well, looks like Pain could use some more... Could try to do bad breath on it. Keep trying to steal. You know, Riku should be the thief, not Yuna. Although Riku's more survivable. Just in case something worked on it. It seemed like it wasn't immune to everything. But it's going to take a long time to kill this thing. Damn. Although Yuna's got awesome stats, that's why she's been okay so far. They're not going to make it easy. There we go. Oops. Physical attacks kill people pretty damn dead. Let's full life Yuna before we die. And we gotta get Yuna back to the mascot dress sphere. She can start using some of her special Moogle powers to help us out a little bit. Nobody's got their auto nonsense going. I don't know what we want to do with her. Let's get you... Riku's taking a beating. Pain is, of course, slowed. I keep forgetting that. It just takes so frickin' long to get some of these attacks off. But with the adamantite, I don't know that there's anything it can do to kill Yuna. Its physical attacks are pretty freaking devastating, though. Oh, you know what? I should be using non-parallel or whatever it's called on Pain, because that should increase the damage that's done. Poison, slow. Can I reduce accurate and evasion? That would be pretty cool if I could. I don't remember if that worked at all. Or I didn't notice. I don't think it did. But I think we've probably got this now. I don't think Crackdown is really going to... No, we can't. We can't really get rid of its protect and shell. We just got to deal with it. Keep going for non-pearl. I'm getting close. And Pain should be ready to start really dealing out damage now. Although I'm going to need to like constantly boost her MPs. I didn't notice how much damage that did, unfortunately. Keep Moogle jolting Pain, who will keep using Catling Gun. Or Cactuar Gun. I didn't see the damage. I need to pay attention this time. I was too busy putting in my next command inputs. That was... Okay, I think it was worth using a couple of turns to boost up her physical, because I think that actually did make a difference. Use Moogle curing this time. I, for some reason, didn't cure with Riku as I should have. Mad Rush missed, so that's what I get for not curing. Oh, I keep forgetting we've got auto protect and shell on everybody. Regenga would give us all haste, although I think Pain is going to be slowed no matter what. So I'm probably better off just keep feeding MPs to Pain so she can keep dealing 20,000 damage per turn. And Riku will just keep healing whoever is the weakest of the bunch. Actually, she needs to jolt herself. And then as soon as I say that, I make Riku not spend her turn healing. Although recently, it's not been able to do more than 3,000 damage per turn to anybody. I think it's, this is one of the enemies that might be even, actually simpler to defeat when it's oversold, because it has fewer attacks. It has like something called Megaton Press it does, which does huge damage to one character, but it doesn't do it when oversold. It gets some magic thrown in, like Flare, which has probably been the thing that's done the most damage. But as you can see, it's got a lot of hit points. We're doing like... And it would be doing more to us if... it would be interfering with us a bit more if I didn't have ribbons and smooth sailing going, because some of its attacks would be inflicting status ailments. $40,000, wow. Come on, Yuna, get off your Moogle Jolt. There you go. Are ethers have we got? We've got 99 ethers. I think I can start using ethers. Didn't notice how many I got back for that, actually. But you gotta remember, I've got the best stress sphere in the game. I've got very high level characters, total status ailment immunity, and I've set things up to like get their hit points over 9999, and still it's taken forever to defeat this thing, and it's not putting us in a ton of danger, but I gotta be careful saying that because suddenly we'll find ourselves in a ton of danger. Everyone's already got regen. I guess I can actually attack with Riku for a change. I mean, my damage is pretty much all coming from the Catling thing. Or the Catling, the Cactuar gun. Yeah, the Wildcat magic, it's doing so little. It's barely even worth it. You end up with a lot of this. It's just an enemy that's going to take 1,000,000 years to kill, regardless of your tactics. And I'm now regretting that the person that I gave the smooth sailing to was not Riku, because she's the one who's hardest to find use for in this battle. The way I've got it set up right now. She's got a lot of skills to be really good against enemies who are not super bosses that are immune to, you know, she's got stat reducers and status ailment stuff. It's really useful against. It's too useful. I mean, they make all the really tough enemies immune because they're such a great way to break the battle otherwise. Luckily, she seems to be attracting its attention a lot of the time. Oh no, I didn't mean to do Moogle Beam. That's a waste of a turn. It's not a waste of a turn, it's just barely broke the damage limit. And it actually won the battle, so after joking about it being a waste of a turn, the Moogle Beam actually is what finishes the battle for us. And it was, if I'd coupled that with a couple of minutes of talking about which monsters we still need to oversoul, which was going to happen, Crystal Gloves, eh?
He's not here. Who? Trema.
Oh, well, we're not going to find him till we get to the bottom. I mean, come on.
Trema is the founder of New Yevon.
I didn't know we got the story
sequence here. He kept all of his
here.
spheres from Spear's past to himself and then vanished without a trace.
So you think he's in the bottom of the dungeon?
He'd crawl down here.
Not me. I think he'd be off living it up.
That was a year ago. So he's probably already...
What?
Dead? Maybe he was from the start. They say he was able to control the most powerful of fiends.
Which is
Through
why
bribery.
I really think we should go home now.
Why does Yuna think he's dead just because it's been a year since he was last seen? Doesn't have a lot of trust in the survivability of this guy, does she? Anyway, so we can go back to AP egg mode until we finish up with Actually, honestly, AP egg plus crystal bangle is probably the way to go. But what were crystal gloves? We got one of those for defeating that guy. They might be better than crystal bangles. They might double our MP and HP or something, or maybe they triple our HP. That would be pretty sweet. Oh, well, whatever it is, it looks like we already had some because they didn't appear at the bottom of the list of accessories. I don't remember what we stole from it either, so we might have stolen something totally awesome and I just blanked on it. It said, I could have sworn it said crystal gloves. Yeah, raise defense by 60. Well, I guess it's thematically appropriate for that guy, but not really that awesome. So we got the AP egg, crystal bangle. Oh, I meant to replace smooth sailing, not. Oh. So if we stick with this setup and stay on this garment grid, I mean everybody will have triple AP and over 9999 hit points, so that's not a bad place to be. And their levels are all in the low to mid 90s. Hopefully we'll get to level 100 before we get to the bottom. But that little speech from Payne there was a little reminder in case you'd forgotten. It's been a while since we talked about it. But yeah, in theory we're coming down here because Trema, the founder of New Yevon, disappeared down here and took a whole bunch of secrets with him. And we're going to go try to figure out what they are. I guess in theory, that's what we're up to. In the meantime, I got to decide. I'm going to start cooking dinner. I'm going to hit a point eventually where I've got stuff set to sort of simmer. And I got to decide what I might do is off camera. Just grab a couple of the weaker enemies that I know we haven't oversold. Use a fact to figure out which level of the Via Infinito to go to. Well, let me refresh my memory, but I should be able to just go continue from the start over from 0 or continue to the deepest cloister reached. So if I go to the deepest cloister reached, then I can go to another thing which will let me pick which great cloister I want to go to. Yeah. That's basically how it's going to work. What was that? Oh, she just does a little animated walking away motion. Interesting, I didn't know about that. Alright, so anyway, that's going to be it for this video, and when we come back, I may or may not have done a small amount of off-screening while, rice absorbs water and meat cooks in simmering sauce and that sort of thing. Or maybe we'll just jump right back where we were, but I think our next quest is going to be to drill down to level 80 to fight another super boss. Then we will have access to floors 1 or 0, I guess they actually call it, through 80 of the Via Infinito, which should give us access to most of the normal enemies in the game, as long as we have a fact at hand, so we know which levels to run around in, waiting for random encounters with which regular enemies. And this is basically the thing that you almost have to use to oversoul all the oversoulable enemies in the game and get whatever garment grid you get for that. I don't remember what you get. You know what? Why don't we Google it real quick? Reward for oversouling all enemies. Oversoul. Oh, and the Final Fantasy Wikia is explaining something I didn't know, which makes sense, which is that when enemies are oversouled, all of their magic powers cost 0 MP, which is why we keep running into stuff which is still able to cast magic on us. Killing an oversoul enemy itself may or may not count towards the... Alright. Garment grid, the end. Damn it, I clicked the wrong thing. but I can still find the end. No, I remember now. The garment grid for this, it gives you a really, really powerful attack, but only if you didn't run away at all in the game. Abominable exclusive garment grids. They can only be found through the creature. Whatever. Okay. The end. Passive abilities break HP limit. Gate abilities break damage limit. Finale. Okay, it's basically the same as higher power, except that it adds the end. So it's a little bit better than higher power, but it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But its passive ability is the same, break HP limit, and you have to pass through 2 gates to get break damage limit. But the way the gates are positioned, I'm looking at the diagram. Well, no, I guess in theory you could whatever. But there's a bit of ability called Finale, which is 99999 damage on the condition the user has not run from any battle, otherwise strength-based. So I don't know if it's really... I guess we could, in our second playthrough, we would start out with that garment grid. We might be able to use Finale a couple times just for fun, but it doesn't seem like it would be a very wise idea to never run away from battle. I mean, there's just situations where it would be a huge hassle. Anyway, folks, that's it. I managed to talk my way into having a video of over 30 minutes, so we're going to call it here. And when we come back, we will be diving deeper into the Via Infinito. I'm Mysterious JT. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.